Right guys, so I'm going to show you how we're going to create the laser cut counter for the Tower of Hanoi. We're going to be using a 2D program called Corel Draw to do this. So I need you to go to Start menu, and I want you to go to All Programs, and if you go down to Corel Draw Graphics Suite, you'll see that in there is this green one with a pencil called Corel Draw X8. Now we're going to be creating these counters with 80mm squares. So to do that, I think the best thing to do is when we start a new document is we're going to go to, we're going to write counter, and we're going to do custom preset, and I want you to make sure that this is changed to 80. Okay, so we've got 80mm, and we're going to do 80mm again there, number of pages 1, okay, and just click OK. So what that does is it sets up my pages as an 80 by 80 page, which makes my life a lot easier. And I'll show you how that makes it easier, because if you see here where I hold my cursor, on the side here there's a little black bar. You can see that's 0, and up here that is also 0. So I know that my bottom left hand corner here is 0, 0. Alright, so I want to use this as my screen, and I'm going to start to do that by using my rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. It doesn't have to be perfect, into that section there. And up here you can see that this here shows my left and right, and my up and down sizes, okay, my width and my height. So this is all to do with the object height, and I'm going to change that to 80. Press tab, 80, press enter. Right, and you'll see that my square has now pretty much 80 by 80. Pretty much fits within that screen that I've set up. Now if you look here, we've got a little box that represents each of these 9 points. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And you can see here that these are representative of those 9 nodes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on those, and I can change my point of reference. Now we know that the 0, 0 point of this rectangle is down in this bottom left. So I want the bottom left of this square to be at 0, 0. So if I click the bottom left node, it goes black, and I can type in 0, hit tab, 0, hit enter, and you can see it's jumped over to that perfectly. So I'm now set at 0, 0 on this square. Now, if I'm going to be laser cutting, I need to make sure that this is a hairline. So I'm going to set that to hairline, and now the laser cutter knows to cut that out. So I'm going to go to my circle tool, and again I want my circle in the middle, and it doesn't matter where I draw it. I'm going to draw it over here. Okay, it doesn't matter how big, because I'm going to tell the computer that I want that to be 12mm to fit over the 10mm rod. I'm going to hit tab, I'm going to type 12 again, and then click enter. And that has created a 12mm diameter hole. Alright, it's not in the center. So remember what I said about these nodes, yeah? I'm going to click my center node, and I know that the center of this 80 by 80 square is going to be 40 by 40. So if I select now my positioning tab, I'm going to type in 40, press tab, and I will type 40 again and press enter. That goes to the middle, and same as before, I want that to be a hairline. So I'm going to select my pen width and select on hairline, so I know that that is nice and thin now. Right, one of the things that we need to do is round these corners, and if I go to my shape tool, I can select the square, and it comes up with these 4 nodes in the corners, and I just click and drag that node down to the center. Alright, over here I've got my 4 centers. I can change the shape of that, whether it's a round corner, whether it's scalloped, or indeed whether it's chamfered. But I want it to be rounded, and I want that to be 5mm. And you can see here again, it selects those corners. It's indicating, telling you which corner it is. Now these are all linked together, hence it's got the this little padlock here. So that is locked. They are all locked together. Alright, and what I need to do is click onto there, type in 5, hit enter, and it will do all of them at the same time. Alright, so we've got our 5mm radius on there. So I'm going to now add some text because I want to put the rules of the game here. So I'm going to click my text tool and I'm going to select this entire screen. So this is my text area. Now I need to find the rules of the game. So I'm going to go to my Chrome, I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to write in rules of Tower of Hanoi. Okay. And here we've got the rules, comes up straight away, and I'm going to copy that entire bit of text. So we'll go back to our program, our Corel Draw, and I'm going to paste that in. So I'm going to go edit, paste, and here we go, rules for Tower of Hanoi. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to do a little bit of formatting here. So Tower of Hanoi, the goal of the puzzle is to move all the discs from the leftmost peg to the rightmost peg, adhering to the following rules. So I'm going to put Tower of Hanoi, the goals of the puzzle, I'm going to change that to goal, and I'm going to delete that, goal, move all the discs from the leftmost peg to the rightmost peg. Okay, full stop, enter, and I'm going to get rid of adhering to the following rules. I'm going to put rules, move only one disc at a time. A larger disc may not be placed on top of a smaller disc. Alright, so that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to select all of that. Select all of that. I'm going to bump that up to, let's try 16, 18 is going to be good. I want this to be bold, and I want this all to be centered, justified in the middle. So center, there we go. And I'm going to add an extra space there to move it down, give my room for the hole. Now, if I wanted to, I could, if I double click on that, I can now then start to think, right, is Arial the best one I want to use? Maybe rounded is going to be nicer to read. I could change it to something a little bit more simple. There's plenty of different text here for you to choose. The big thing is to really make it so that you can read it effectively, the person who is doing the reading. Now, one of the things I want to do is select the text, and I'm going to select the center, and that is pretty much ready to go. So now I can go to File, and I can get a Save As, and I'm going to save this as laser counter. And that is ready for me to go down to the laser cutter and get that popped on. All right. Okay, well, it's over to you now, guys.